What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lantern, bringing you guys the final weekly recap for the regular season. This series will continue for the playoffs. I'll sort of like recap the playoff matches and how they went and go through them. I wish I was as good at editing as Regenix is for his Redcast stuff, so that I could like get the match sort of to play and maybe like loop and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I am not so lucky that I have his skills, unfortunately, there. So let's hop right into this. But at this point, you guys know what's up. So first up is move kills, and keep in mind that the statistics, I'll be taking these out of the weekly recaps for the playoffs, as well as the eliminated playoff teams. I'll be taking those out as well, just because it's not relevant. So first up is move kills, and actually, these are relevant for playoffs, but I don't track them because I don't think it's fair to not track statistics, keep tracking statistics. Sorry, when some eliminated playoff teams aren't getting counted, so we don't roll like that. So to end off the season here, Ice Beam leading the league with 32 kills. Pretty hilarious that Earthquake isn't at the top for another season. In fact, in season one, let me actually just pull up the season one document so I can verify this. But in season one, the top move kill was Thunderbolt, I believe, which came really close. I think Thunderbolt finished like fourth, I think. Oh, my computer's struggling a little bit because there's a lot of documents open. I've been doing a lot of updating today and announcing the playoff matchups, putting up the playoff pick'ems, brackets, and stuff like. Yeah, so Thunderbolt finished last season with 33 kills in first place. This season, Ice Beam finishes in first with 32 kills. Earthquake finished in second in season 1 with 26 kills, and this season it's got 27. Last season, Hyper Voice was in third with 17. This season, Moonblast is in third with 22, and last season Moonblast had 15 in fourth place. And also this season, Thunderbolt finished in fourth with 21. There were quite a few common kills, whereas quite a few more common kills. Um, 18 kills had double-digit numbers, and in season one only 13 did. And then in season one, a total of 130 moves had unique kills, and this season only 127 did. Last season, let me just double check on how many unique Z move kills there were last season. There were 10 unique Z move kills last season, and this season there have been 13, and a total of 19 Z move kills last season, and this season there were 23? 20, 24. There were 24 total Z move kills. So a lot more Z moves being used this season, it's kind of cool to see the comparison between the two. In terms of kill leaders, we didn't have anything nearly as dominant as Mega Gardevoir from last season. Mega Gardevoir demolished the entire pack. It finished first with 24 kills and a plus 19 differential or something ridiculous. This season, there was a tie in first place with Kinkeldor and Volcarona. Kinkeldor having 19 kills, which was actually the total of Mega Sharpedo, which finished second last season. And Volcarona was also at the top there last season, going 11 and 2, and this season is 17 and 5. So Volcarona proving to be just as much of a threat on Matt's team, especially in this league. It seems like Volcarona is kind of a big problem for people. Melodic actually, despite it being at the top most of the season, ended up finishing in third with 14 kills, 3 deaths for a plus 11 differential. And then sitting alone in fourth, but I couldn't fit it on the screen here, is Mega Altaria of the Atlanta Staraptors with 16 kills, 7 deaths for a plus 9 differential. So now looking at the matches that happened this week, let's move in order. So first off, we have Jed in the Adelaide Overheat, picking up a really clutch win at the end of the season that put him in the playoff race still in Week 12, beating Nacho and the Detroit Terribles 4-0. It was kind of just a smackdown. Nacho really didn't have much to deal with Jed's team, and that's about all I remember because it happened so long ago. It actually happened before Week 12 even started, so I was sort of waiting for a while for that one. Whoops. Austin, the Atlanta Raptors, picking up a loss to Magic and the Stone Point City Blizzard. Really close loss, and the game didn't matter whatsoever. Austin brought like Life Orb, Ferroseed. It was kind of memey. And the match obviously didn't affect any playoff chances, so there you go with that one. Dom picking up a huge win to finish off his season, going 6-6 -1, picking up a huge 2-0 win over Daniel and the Seattle Raptors. Daniel ended up missing a Mega Horn, which entirely lost him the game. It looked like Scolipede was just going to sweep through Dom's team, and Dom ended up picking up the win because of a Megahorn miss. Otherwise, Dom would actually not be in playoffs, and instead, Dom is in the wildcard 1 seed. That really sucks. RNG's been haunting Daniel this entire season. He has missed so many moves that he should have hit. It's just ridiculous. But there you go. What are you going to do about it? Daniel was already in playoffs anyways, but Jed could have been in that final playoff spot for Hoenn, and instead Dom takes it off of a miss. Nacho and the Detroit Terravolts were already eliminated, picking up a loss to the Adelaide Overheat, a game that probably was decided a long time ago. Just based on the effort that Nacho needed to put in, it wasn't a whole lot because he was already eliminated anyways, and I thought it might have been an interesting matchup given their week 1 head-to-head, but as it turns out, both teams were eliminated from playoffs, and so it was not the highlight game that I thought it might be. Whoops, I forgot the plus here, but Matt and the Green Bay Glasspods picking up a win over the Tampa Bay Weasels, and Ben in a meme match where Matt brought like 4 Scarfers and 2 Reggies. Pretty big win for Matt because it ended up clinching him his division. If he had lost that game for some reason, then Dom would have had a shot at taking the division title. And instead, Matt sat comfortably in winning his division by winning that game, and he also locked me into my division by beating Ben 4-0. So there you go. Next up is Cade and the Krabby Dabbies taking his final FF loss of the season to the UNC Wingles in a match that had no implications on anything because Cade was already clinched in his division and Jay was already officially eliminated from playoffs. So this match had no indication whatsoever on how the rest of the season was going to play out. Myself, I picked up a 4-0 loss against Phil this week. It was a meme match, and unfortunately, T-Spikes wore down my team and didn't really give me a chance to show off some of my sets, and we took a well-deserved loss, I think. Phil played really well. As salty as I was about him not memeing as hard as I did, there was no basis for that, and yeah, essentially, we deserved the loss that we took. Daniel and the Seattle Raptors. Daniel has picked up at least 2 losses, potentially 3 this season, to missing moves. And so, despite him being 6-6, I firmly believe that he should be 9-3 at this point in the season. And unfortunately, that puts him in a really strong position in playoffs because he's sort of like the underdog, despite showing off how good he is this season. He's going to be a really scary opponent in playoffs, and he absolutely deserved to beat Dom, and unfortunately did not pick up the win there. Magic and the Snow Point City Blizzard picking up their win over Austin for a 2-win streak to end out their season. So he actually does finish the league in last place regardless. He is the 12th place team, which may or may not affect his draft pick heading into next season, depending if he wants to come back and depending if I choose to go that route. But bodes well for him at the end of the season there. Unfortunately, when he had nothing left to play for is when his team sort of stepped up for him. And I don't know. I didn't have high hopes for his team from the beginning just because I wasn't a fan of how it was built. And unfortunately for Magic, that sort of showed how his season played out. He didn't have the raw power that Mega Gardevoir gave him last season. And in a more competitive league this season, he wasn't able to pick up the wins that he needed to make playoffs. Ben and the Tampa Bay Weasels taking a 4-0 loss to Matt, successfully locking myself in the division because there was no way I could get less differential than 21, and Ben had 20. So despite being in the most competitive division in the league and being in first place in that, basically from week 4 all the way to week 11, Ben is unfortunately finishing second, and he's going to have a really tough matchup in the quarterfinals. Ben has been killing it this season. Don't get me wrong whatsoever. He has been an absolute beast, and I look forward to seeing how far he progresses in playoffs. Jay picked up a FF win over Cade, hitting 4 wins for himself on the season, which actually puts him in 10th place in the league. Not horrible, given the fact that he had a really weird Trick Room team, and Clefable actually stepped up really hard and put in a lot of work for him, sort of keeping his team together, I would say. Last but not least is Phil in the Wheelchair War Totals, picking up a big win over myself and finishing second in the entire league and first in the Hoenn Conference, winning his division, looking like he's going to have a good run in playoffs, hopefully. He's got a tough matchup regardless because he did lose to his opponent, his first round playoff opponent, but there you go. And that is going to be it for the weekly recap. So keep your eyes peeled. If you guys remember, I did a mid-season recap, and I will be doing a end of season recap, which is going to cover how the coaches predicted things in coach profiles, how they ended up at the end of the season, and we will talk about all. Essentially, I'll go a lot more in depth with the move kills and the kill leaders, as well as maybe I'll touch on some of the playoff matchups just a little bit. I think more likely you'll see playoff talk in the Pick'ems video with Jed this week. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me, guys, and I will catch you guys later.